What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be Black Ink Crew Chicago, season 6, episode 4. So we start this episode off. We back at the shop. You know, we had the little PJ party tonight. We're at Second City. I gotta be specific because we got 2 different shops now. But we back at Second City. And you know, they kind of talking about what went down. Well, no, before we get to that, we see Plug and Charmaine. And I'm only bringing this up because y'all know how I loves me a good ball, and I loves me some pose, and I loves that whole thing. And Plug is a ball kid. Plug goes to the balls. He walks categories. And so he's talking to Charmaine about it. And Charmaine is like, what? He was like, we don't know nothing about balls. And first of all, when he was saying ball, his accent makes it sound like he's saying bar. So I thought he said bar too. But he's showing Charmaine how to vogue and everything. And it's real cute. And I guess the producers asked Charmaine how would she feel about her child being gay or whatever. And Charmaine was like, look, if my child comes out voguing, it is all good in the hood. I said, I know that's right, Charmaine. It's whatever. Then he told everybody that didn't know nothing about no ballroom they need to go watch Paris is Burning ASAP. And I ditto that. ASAP. Go watch Paris is Burning ASAP. Don't watch Pose first. Pose is a wonderful show, but watch Paris is Burning first. Then you can go binge up on Pose. Anyway, so then Drea came in, Jess came in, and they started talking about the night before. And they basically was coming at Drea like, yo, I didn't know y'all was hooking up. What's really going on? And, Jess has made it clear that she does not like the idea of the people in the shop dating. And she very nicely let them know that. And she told them, I could see where this can go. And I would hate to see one of y'all have to leave the shop. And Drea was like, you think it would come to that? And Jess was like, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not going to mess up what I have going here. I'm not going to mess up what we're doing here. And Drea was like, I'm just trying to understand why I'm getting all this heat. Why he not getting none of the heat? Because he ain't there. I'm sure if Zach was the first person to walk in the door, he would get the heat. You there. It's not a man-woman thing. If y'all had walked in at the same time and all of the comments were directed at you, then I would be like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. But he's not there. You were the first person to walk in, so you got the heat. It is what it is. Ryan has gotten a new apartment. He looks like he's got a beautiful high-rise apartment overlooking the skyline. Because let's be clear, it was never an issue of Ryan being able to afford his own place. Like Ryan said, he was waiting for Rachel to let him come back home. He didn't want to get a new place because he wanted to go back home. But, it's been clear that even if they are going to work things out, they are not working it out anytime soon. And so in the meantime, he went and got him a place, and he got him a nice, beautiful high rise. And it's at least a 3-bedroom because he said that the kids have their own room. And remember, we talked about that. From my understanding, he only has one son with Rachel, but then, he basically has raised Rachel's other son. So he counts them together. He's like, my kids. So for them to have their own rooms, it's at least a 3-bedroom apartment. So it's really nice down Chicago, skyline and all that. He paying a little penny. And I'm sure Ryan flexed a little bit because I'm sure he knew the narrative was going to be, oh, Ryan ain't got no money. I'm sure he was being very clear and strategic to let y'all know, oh, I'm good. Ryan mama over there helping him unpack. She done bought all these pictures of Rachel. And Don and them are like, no. You can't post pictures with you and your ex-girlfriend up in your new apartment, your bachelor pad. The first time you bring a woman home, she gonna be like, what? What's this? Ooh. Now it'd be different if it's a family picture of you with the kids, and you still want to keep those to a minimum. You still want to keep those to 1, 2 at the most. Because again, I don't have no problem with you and your kids, but I don't need to see a whole bunch of family pictures when I walk up in your apartment for the first time. I don't need to see a whole lot. 1, maybe 2. That's it. I don't need no bookshelf full of memories. I don't need that. So they said that. So Don said, look, my man 4 single, he ready to mingle. I got Ryan single, ready to mingle. We're gonna go out, we're gonna hang out. I'm gonna be your wingman, because I'm good. Don is so sweet now, y'all. Don is so good. He said, I'm good. I'm just going to be the wingman. I'm just going to be pointing you in the right direction, blocking anything that need to be blocked. That's it. That's what I'm here for. Now, later on, he has a conversation with Danny about it. And here's the thing. Do I think Danny has fully forgiven him? I think Danny has fully forgiven him as much as Danny can fully forgive him at this point. some things are just gonna have to be time. Something, and they've been doing really good for a long time, but I think there's a part of Danny that knows that it's only gonna be one bad decision, and they're going to end up right back where they started. So she wasn't really feeling the wingman thing. She wasn't really feeling him out there, judging good, bad, ugly. I think part of her was playing, but I think part of her was serious. The part of her that was serious, I'm gonna say to you, Danielle, you're gonna have to let that go, boo. But what I appreciate is that Dawn is like, look, it ain't the first time she got mad at me. It ain't the first time she done cussed me out. It ain't gonna be the last. He said the old Don would have cussed her back. We'd have got into a big ass argument, and then I would have went and done something stupid. The new Don is like, ain't no need in arguing because I ain't leaving her. I ain't going nowhere. So ain't no need going through all that just to end up right back here. So I let her be mad. I let her do what she had to do. And all I can do is continue to be the good guy that I've been. And I'm like, that is probably the most mature thing that I've heard Don say, period. But starting last season, I've definitely seen a mature in Don. I've definitely seen Don wanting to grow up. And I'm not sure how much of Don's indiscretions in the past was storyline versus he was really out here screwing up. I think it probably was about 50-50. But I definitely appreciate the fact that he is no longer willing to sacrifice his perception of him and his reputation for the storyline. If that's what it was. If that's what it was. I'm gonna leave it at that. So we'll get back to them because they actually go out to the bar, honey. We'll get back to that. So then we see Fly Tatted talking to the other tattoo artist, and he letting them know what went down at the party too, because dude didn't make it to the party. He letting them know how it went down, and how him and Zach almost got into it, and how it got real ugly for a minute. And he was saying how dude is corny. Like I don't see him like that. He corny. You know what I mean? I don't with him like that, basically. And so then he gives us a little bit more of his story. Dude is on parole. He got into it with the police. He assaulted a police officer. Um, he's lucky to be alive, which he said he knows because these days, people don't get into arguments with the police and live to tell the story. Like that's just not something that they're able to do on a regular basis. But you know, it is what it is. He's on probation. He had to go to anger management, and he just got to ride out his papers. So he was like, I really can't get into no mess. I can't fight that dude. I can't put my hands on him because he's not worth me going back to jail over. And that's where he will end up, especially on camera. Like it's obvious what's going on if he gets into a physical altercation. So there's that. Back down to the shop. I think I got it all. Yeah. Back down to the shop, Second City. We didn't have any scenes at 9 Max, so all of this is at Second City Inc. Plug, honey, got these bad boots on, baby. These blue thigh high, look like they like that snake skin print, baby. And he did a backflip in it, and they were like, "What? What? You can't do it again?" He was like, "A backflip? That's my easiest move. Like." Me doing a backflip ain't no thing. I said, see, y'all messing with them, y'all messing with the club boy like that. He know how to do it. And he did another backflip, baby. Anyway, beautiful. I like Plug. I really do. I wasn't sure about Plug. I wasn't sure how extra Plug was gonna be, but I like Plug. But hold on, I skipped something, so I gotta get back to that. Zach went to Drea's apartment, and Drea basically went off on him and was telling him, look, you got me caught up. You were real doing the most. You were doing extra. You got me looking stupid out here because they looking at me crazy, and that's exactly what I didn't want. We're not even boyfriend and girlfriend. Why were you acting like that? And he was like, because I was protecting you. He was disrespecting you, and I ain't never going to let you be disrespected around me. And she was like, he wasn't disrespecting me. We were playing. We were dancing. We were having a good time. Now, somehow or another, she said in her confessional, he's reminding me of my ex-boyfriend who was very abusive and controlling. I'm older now and I'm not falling for the okie doke and I don't want to get back into it. Ladies and gentlemen, for anybody who has ever said, how do these women get into these abusive relationships knowing that the man has some abusive tendencies? I show you Exhibit A. She sat there and said Red flags are going up. He is showing me some things that I don't like. He's showing me some things that I picked up from my ex-boyfriend, who ended up becoming very controlling and a little abusive. I got out of that. I'm older now. I ain't falling for the okie doke. And the very next thing we see is them in bed. And her saying, I don't know how we got here. We started off arguing in the kitchen, then we went to the couch, and okay. So 6 months from now, when it's gone beyond the cute phase and it's not cute no more, don't ask me how did we get here. I don't want no Deborah Cox. How did we get here? That's how we got here. Anyway, um, she was like, "Well, don't do that to me again. Don't embarrass me again." Blah blah blah. Okay, sure, sure, okay. Anyway, so now we are back to the shop. So, Fly Tat, his dad comes in there to get a tattoo. Now we found out that his dad just got out of jail. And here's where you know the difference between like a real thug and a little fake thug. The producers were like, "What your dad go to jail for?" He was like, "Ask him that. I'm not going to tell you why my dad went to jail. You ask him. And if that's a problem, oh well, then that's a problem." Exactly. And I understand the producers asking. That's their job to ask. But here's the reality. You don't have to answer every question that they ask. You don't have to tell everything that happens. You don't. Um, so his dad got a tattoo. He got a gorilla smoking a cigar. It was a real cute tattoo. And he said, my dad, he said a lot of people got that sob story. They upset because their father wasn't there. Their father went away to jail and they feeling some kind of way. He was like, I don't have that issue. He was like, I understand. My dad, it was what it was. He did the best he could. He did what he had to do to take care of his family. So I don't feel no kind of way. I don't feel like he owes me anything or that he did anything wrong. It just is what it is. Like, that's just where we came from. That's how we had to grind. He said him and his dad are like best friends. He's like, we're more like, brothers than we are like father and son. And I love my father. So I was like, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. So we down to the club. We got Ryan, we got Ford, we got Don. And Don was like, look, I got cussed out to be here tonight. Me and Ashley got into it before I left the house, but like I told y'all before, he was like, look, it is what it is. She gonna be mad. And I'm gonna just deal with it. Like, it is what it is. I've given her reason to feel the way she feel. I just gotta keep being a good dude. Ford was saying the type of guy he looking for, guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Ford. I didn't mean that. Ford. I didn't mean that type of woman he looking for. I didn't mean that for the type of woman that he's looking for. He said, somebody like me. I'm an acquired taste. I need somebody that's a little strange like me, a little out of the box. Ryan was like, I ain't looking for nothing. It is what it is. Whatever come my way. He said, what Don doesn't know is I already invited a little homie to come through, and if she show up, it's cool. If she don't, it is what it is. Um, Danny decides to get her friends together. I'm sorry, I keep saying Danny. One of my friends' name is Danielle, and I call her Danny. So I think I automatically just say Danny when somebody's name is Danielle. But Danielle, she got her friends together. She said, "Look, I done found out the club where they hanging out, and I'm just feeling some kind of way about this whole wingman thing. So I'm gonna be my girl's wing girl, and we're gonna go hang out." So, they playing that game where I'm gonna be at the bar, and they get themselves a little booth and all that. Honey, Don was so smooth about that thing. Don, um, Don gonna go over to the bar, order them a couple of bottles, and put on there talking about some "Do you boo, do you." So when she got the bill, she was just like, he paid for the bill, but it was written on the bill. She was just like, "Oh, okay, you got jokes, you got jokes." He said, back in the day, we'd be sending nasty text messages back and forth to each other across the room. He said, but it is what it is. Like, have a good time. I'm not doing anything that I need to be embarrassed about or that I'm going to get in trouble for. We just having a good time. He said, I know what it was about. She wanted to get a rise out of me. She wanted a reaction. And it ain't going to be that. We going to have a good time. So then they started joking with each other. Ron talking about something. They look like fake. They like a broken Vogue. It was all good. Next thing you know, who come walking in the door? Miss Kitty. Black Ink Crew New York, Miss Kitty. Now, I didn't review Black Ink Crew New York, but if y'all watched it, At the end of the season, the last couple of episodes, it was this whole thing about Miss Kitty sleeping with Ryan. Caesar got in his feelings. He fired Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty was like, first of all, I didn't sleep with Ryan. But second of all, if I did sleep with Ryan, what's the problem? Why you tripping? Then her and old girl got into it because they were at Essence Fest together, and she was the one that said she was the one that went back and told Caesar, Kitty's lying. They did sleep together. Now let me tell you what I think went down. I almost wished I was reviewing the season for those last couple of episodes, honey, because that was a good storyline. But let me tell y'all how I think it went down. They have been seeing each other for years because, they always been doing these crossover episodes, the Black Ink Crew Chicago, Black Ink Crew New York. They've done a Christmas episode. They've done different things here and there. So they've been around each other before. They've done conventions together and stuff. So they know each other. This isn't new. They were down in New Orleans. Do I think that Kitty and Ryan hooked up? Here's what I think went down. I think Ryan and Kitty like each other. I think that because of the situation, they never really crossed that line. I think there have been some flirting, probably been some text messages, might even been some nasty pictures exchanged. I don't know. But I think that when Kitty was accused of sleeping with Ryan, I think her thing was, well, if I'm going to be accused of doing it, and I've been trying to be respectful and I've been trying to watch my boundaries, but if I'm going to be accused of doing it, oh, I might as well just go ahead and balls to the wall and get it in. Because do I think they're sleeping together now? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. And Ryan told her, she came in the bar, they talked, they flirted a little bit. And she said, what's up? Show me a good time in Chicago. Show me a good time. And Ryan said, she said, let's go to the next club. And Ryan was like, I tell you what, if we leave here together, whether it's breakfast or dinner, the next you gonna be cooking it. Now I took that to mean she gonna be, standing in the thong in his kitchen making omelets first thing in the morning. That's how I took that comment. I don't know if that's how Ryan meant it. That's how I took the comment. Then he said, all right. So then Ryan did the second check. See, Ryan, you were good, Ryan, because you did the second check. Ryan said, I'm serious. I mean what I said. Miss Kitty said, all right, let's go. Ryan hit 4 and Don with the, yo, we out. Don was like, don't worry, we got the bill. You good. Go ahead. We got it. We got it. And they rolled to the next appointed stop. Now, whether that next stop was Ryan brand new overlooking the Chicago skyline penthouse apartment, or whether it was the next club, and then they went to the park. Somewhere that night / morning ended with Miss Kitty making omelets in the kitchen. I'm just telling you what I think went down. Now, personally, I don't have no problems with it. Because my thing is, if you're going to be accused of doing it, I might as well do it. I've always been that person. When you're going to accuse me, I might as well if I'm going to get in trouble anyway, I might as well go on and get in trouble for doing what you think I did. So yeah, and I'm sure they're going to expound upon that storyline. Now, at the end of the day, it might be all just storyline. I don't care. But it's convincing storyline. See, I don't have a problem with stuff being storyline as long as it's convincing. This is a good convincing storyline. I'm cool with it. I'm here for it. Now, down to Second City Inc., we have, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Zach finally comes back. Now, Fly Tatted is everybody there. Forget it. Everybody's there. And y'all know they sitting around talking trash, doing what they do. And Zach comes in there. And of course, there's already tension because, see, Fly Tatted is not that dude. Fly Tatted is not the guy that me and you beef and then we make up 5 minutes later and I'm cool with you. He's going to keep giving you the side eye until he realizes that you really are cool and the situation has simmered down. He always on go. He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's sort of like a Don, but a less extra. I mean, a Van, but a less extra Van. But, Van was already always on go. Van was always side-eyed and ready to go no matter what the deal was. And I feel like that's the same thing with this dude. I feel like he always on go. So what had happened was they started getting on the conversation about how long everybody's been tattooing. Come to find out, Zach has only been tattooing for 3 years, whereas everybody else has been tattooing for, I think, at least 5 to 10 years. So he gonna say, yeah, I only been tattooing for 3 years, but I'm still the best tattoo artist in here. Now, see, here's the deal. There's a line between bravado, being confident, and disrespectful. When you're in a group like that, especially a group that's still trying to build, they still trying to get to know each other, and you know you just had some beef with somebody, there's a way of saying what he said without it coming out disrespectful. What you could have said was, all of us are great tattoo artists and we all have our specialties that we shine in. That's a nice way of saying that. You could even say, hey, my confidence level got me at a point where I think I'm one of the best to do this, even though I've only been doing it for 3 years. And he said, I was born to do this. I was born to be a tattoo artist. I have the talent. Cool. But again, there's a way of saying that without making other people feel some kind of way around you. And then he's going to say, well, that's just how my confidence is. If y'all can't deal with it, then y'all just can't deal with it. But that's how I am. I'm just confident like that. Y'all know what happened. Him and Fly Tatted, because Fly Tatted tried to let it go, y'all. He did. He really tried to let it go. Zach didn't know when to shut his mouth and just move on. He didn't know when to stop. Because Fly Tatted was like, I can't let this dude get me out of my game. Because again, I know that, I'm only one phone call away from going back to jail. Like, I know that. So I can't go there like I really want to go there. And dude was really trying. He was. But Zach kept doing this. He kept running his mouth about how he was this and he was that. And he the best, he the best, he the best. They had to get security to come over there, separated. So then they were like, Zach, just leave. Zach, just leave. And Jess said in her confessional, she said, now, I'm not going to blame this whole situation on the fact that Zach and Drea are sleeping together. But what I will say is it's not helping the tension between the two of them. They get Zach to leave. But what Zach keep doing on his way out, he calling him all kinds of, bitch ass this and da-da-da-da-da. Fly Tatted hears him. Fly Tatted, he do the cool walk off. He don't do the fast run. He do the cool walk off to the point where they didn't even realize dude was going after him at first. But luckily they had more than enough security and they were able to keep them away from each other. But here goes Zach. Zach's across the street throwing up his middle finger. And I'm like, dude, you are waiting and asking for this ass whooping that's coming your way. Because I think it's coming. And I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not feeling Zach. I'm not. I feel like he was wrong at the party. Like, we all at the party, we all dancing, we all having a good time. Even if that was your girlfriend, which she was not at the time your girlfriend. She was somebody you were cool with. But even if she was your girlfriend, you did too much. Now you're doing too much with Fly Tatted. And I don't mean no harm. I don't really think you about that life. I'm not saying I think you're a punk. I'm just saying there's levels to this. And I feel like Fly Tatted is on a different level. That's just how I'm saying. That's where I'm at. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.